Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
I hope you are sitting down because our guest today is the one and only Amanda Henn. Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, darling. It is so good to be with you. I can't believe I have this opportunity. Oh, yes, darling. You are fabulous.
You know what? That's exactly how I feel about you. I'm like, wow, award-winning American actress.
Hello. You know, we just got to do what we got to do. And who would have ever guessed, coming from some little bitty town in Northeast Alabama, that God would take me to any of these places?
Amen. Because, you know, I'm right behind you, girlfriend. I'm in Beaumont, Texas. You know,
hello. I know right where that is.
You know what's crazy? We just bought property in Alabama, and we're going to be.
What did you do that for?
I know. It's going to be a retire. I know. We're going to retire. That's like 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm never retiring.
Well,
never.
Yeah. I'm with you. You're right. You're right. Tell them what you do, Amanda, for those few people who do not know.
Honey, I have been a model since the 70s.
Boom.
And next month I will be 66 years old.
I need to see your ID, please.
Honey, I am proud of being 66. Do you know how many girls I worked with that are dead? Because, you know, they didn't live the lifestyle that you and I did. I knew from a young age, don't get caught up in that junk. Don't be taking them drugs. Don't be taking, don't believe your press.
Right.
Just get your little money and go home. That's all I cared about. I don't care about being in no magazine. Give me the check.
I love it. We country. That's how country people think. We just want our money and go home.
Yeah, I just want to go home.
We're not going to get caught up in all that. We just want to get our money and go home.
Then after modeling for 999 years, and doing commercials, I was a Calvin Klein model.
Wow, that's a coveted title right there.
Well, somebody's got to fit in them things, so it was me.
Might as well be you.
Yeah, and then got into doing television and movies and all this kind of stuff. But I have always said that God has such bigger plans than you can even dream.
Amen.
And all I ever do is I say yes. Whatever I know God sends my way, I say yes. I don't, it's not it's not how big the role is. It's not about how much money it is. Because if you do what you love and you do what you're meant to do all of that stuff will come to you.
Right. And you guys, not only is she so beautiful, she's also very smart. That's crazy. You were also like a banker.
Yes. See? I didn't know any better. My father was adamant that, yes, you can model. Mm-hmm. And I started when I was 17. And he says, but you're going to college. I don't care what happens. You going to college.
Right.
Because, we're Jewish from a little town in Alabama. And he's like, girlfriend, you got to have a way to make a living, because that stuff may play out, and you got to pay the bill.
Right.
And I went to college, got an accounting degree, and I made good grades. So the Federal Reserve Bank came and recruited me, and I was a banker for years, but I would go back and forth to New York and do modeling gigs, and I'd take time off. I'd go to Italy and Paris and all that stuff.
I love it. And you minored in theater arts, though.
I did. And, I play the piano and sing and all that kind of stuff.
You are just giving me all kind of great vibes. I mean, that's just like amazing.
Well, when I was born, that light hit me, and I was like, out of the way, doctor. That light is for me. Out of the way.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Bruce. Yeah. And when I'm on set, I have that thing. I go, you're in my light. You're in my light. Move. Get out of the way.
Right. And it shows, I mean, your personality, everything about you is so vibrant.
Well, honey, that's what we're supposed to be.
Right.
I have been so blessed. I had wonderful parents. I have a 91-year-old aunt that lives with me, and I get the opportunity to make sure she's okay. I get to live in a smaller town, and I just fly to LA or Atlanta or New York, wherever I'm working. And I get to come home where nobody cares what I do.
Amen.
And I don't have to fight that traffic in LA.
Right. That's us too. We do a lot of traveling as well. Because, we out here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, I love Charlotte, Bank of America headquarters.
It surely is. Yes. Look at that banker in you. Once a banker, always a banker.
But it has come to my defense so many times. Nobody can pull anything over me, because I can read a spreadsheet. I know if I'm producing something. If the accountant comes to me with the dailies, I know if we're on budget. If we're not on budget, I can. Nobody can pull that stuff over on me.
That is a great skill, because a lot of people, you hear a lot of
they wind up
stories.
penniless.
Yes, Amanda, yes. No money, and you thinking they like living like rock stars. You see them on everything, and they're
nuts. Everybody in Beverly Hills, they're riding around in leased Bentleys.
Yeah,
I'm driving my Honda Civic that's paid for. And I'm like, I don't care if you want that $5,000 a month car payment. Go for it, girl. But you ain't gonna have no money.
Correct. Where does your priorities lie?
And I can tell you where mine lie.
Talk to me.
My biggest thing for the rest of my life is to build up my foundation. I have a foundation that assists children and women who need financial help. And I work, and half of everything I make goes into that fund.
Tell us about the foundation.
Well, it's just a foundation, and I don't like to give out the name of it because my name has nothing to do with it. I'm not on the board because I believe if you do something, you should do it like it says to pray in the closet. You don't tell about it. You just do it.
I love you, girl. I love you.
I come from a small town where there's a lot of poverty, and I watched it, and I still see it. And my heart, everybody, you'll hear a lot of people with lots of money go, well, it's their fault. No, honey, they didn't have the opportunity that you did. They didn't, their parents didn't go to Yale and Harvard and mine didn't either. So I know what it's like, to grow up we were not wealthy by any means.
Right.
And not many people were then. And
you're telling the truth.
Yeah, it's not important, how much you have. It's about what you give.
I love that because I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, I am Harry Lee's child. Period.
Hello?
My daddy is from the country. You could go there right now today. He's probably out in the fields with his horse and his plow, or he's sitting out back on his porch, under the tree. I mean, country is country. Like, I am the original redneck chick. You know what I'm saying?
I am as well. My husband comes from wealth. Mm-hmm. He never knew. He never knew. He didn't even know how to mow the grass.
Girl,
I was like, what?
Yes, I'm telling you the same thing. I just call him poor little city boy. I'm like, oh, you poor little city boy, because you can't do nothing. I mean, he's handy. He's doing this, but I mean,
no, honey, my husband is a CFO of a plastics company. Now, he can do all of that kind of stuff, but honey, if you told him to go get you a hoe, he would think you need to go down the street.
A girl.
I need a hoe to go chop them weeds.
Right there. No, not one of those hoes.
No. And I still think I could work as one.
Right. Okay. Because I'm ready. Like, I'm still qualified. Right. But what's so funny is I think my husband would do the same thing. I'm going to try it today.
Oh, you got to try it. Honey, my husband tried to mow the grass one time, and I went out, and he thought the lever and we had a riding lawnmower. He thought the lever to let the mower down was what made it go forward. He scapped the entire yard. And I walked out and I went, my God, what have you done? Doesn't it look fabulous? You killed our grass. Yeah. He never was around it again. But honey, I can drive any tractor. I can drive. There's nothing I can't do.
Me too. I can drive any kind of vehicle, any kind of tractor, boat, anything.
I fixed the washing machine last week.
Let me tell you, this is why
I might look pretty, darling, but honey, I'm a country girl.
Me too. And country girls will survive.
That's right, honey.
I believe that to the core. I plant my own food. I can kill, skin, cook anything. Like, I'm good. That's right.
I can do it. And I ain't afraid to do it.
Nope. I can do it all day long. Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I'm so proud of is no one ever told me I couldn't do it. So I didn't ever think I couldn't do anything.
Right.
I'm never afraid. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when the camera hits them, they're like, oh my God. I'm like, hey. I may be stupid, but I'm not afraid.
That light is for me. Move over.
Yeah. Move over, baby doll.
Move out of my light. So tell me, how are you doing in the pandemic then? How is that affecting you?
Well, the first part of it, I was lying in bed. November the 18th, I was on set filming a television pilot. Okay. And I fell. I stepped in a hole wearing 6-inch heels and broke my foot.
No, you didn't, girl.
Yes, I did. We were in the Hollywood Hills at some old actress's house. I don't know how she lived there. Wasn't Gloria Swanson. It was one of them old ones,
Right.
And I was like, how did they live here? They ain't a handrail. There's not a flat spot on this place. And I'm like, I'm going to fall and kill myself. And as I was leaving, I hit the step and it had a hole in it, and down I went and broke my foot. And 2 weeks ago, I got released from the doctor. And I'm just now ready to go back to work. And now the stupid virus. And I am sick of it. But it is so good to get to talk to you because, honey, I've been making crazy videos. And
what you doing? What videos?
Oh, I put them on YouTube, and I did one, I'm not going to be political, but I did one about Clorox. And I did it with an Alabama country accent. And I'm calling my daughter, Gaynell, get your ass in here. That president said to come drink this Clorox and take you a shot of this stuff. And I had a syringe because I give my aunt B12 shots. And I did the most hillbilly accent you've ever heard. Well, it's had, thousands of views.
Oh, my God.
It's like, Lord Jesus. But, and on top of that, my husband converted to be a Baptist, and my aunt is a Baptist. So I, as a Jew, sing at the Baptist church, and I play the piano at a Baptist church. My grandmother's probably flipping in her grave.
Oh, yeah. What are you doing? She's like, no. She know you got to have the spotlight.
Honey, I love to do it. And the music is so good. As a small child, my mother owned a florist, so she was never home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we had a lady that lived with us, and she taught me how to do everything. That's why I can cook the stuff that will kill everybody. I can cook the greens with the grease
and the hog maw.
Yeah.
Bacon fat, yeah.
You cook everything but the squeal.
That's right. You save everything. Yeah.
And I would go to church with Minnie. And, I'm not saying, but, you're going to be at church for a while when you go
Amen.
At the Bethlehem church.
You're going to be there all day.
You're going to be all day long. And I'm like, I'm starving. And she said, I told you to eat 2 biscuits. And I'm like, can we go? She says, only if you'll sing as I as on the sparrow.
Okay.
And honey, she would stand me on the piano bench and I would sing, why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? I love that song, honey.
Oh my gosh.
That is my song.
I do too. That was beautiful.
And CeCe Winan singing Blessed Assurance. Oh, yes. My Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I'm right there with you, sister.
I
say it's, my black woman inside of me.
You got to talk real to me, baby, because that's how we do it on this podcast. We will speak 100% authentic to who we are.
And I am at least 80% black woman. Because I can go off on you too.
Yeah. And that's so great. You don't even need no ancestry DNA for that. Now you already know.
I know I'm there. I'm like, I was trained right.
It's so funny.
I'm going to kill you. And I knew she would.
She's not playing. Yeah.
No. Get in this chair and you're going to learn how to make biscuit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'm right here. Because she beat the living hoo-hoo out of you.
And that's why you turned out so amazing.
Well, that's what's wrong with the world today.
Mm-hmm.
There's no discipline. There's, and what's so great about this virus, it has forced parents to be with their children.
Boom.
Bam.
That is it. And they're losing their mind. They're losing their mind.
But that's why, you shouldn't have had them if you didn't want to be with them.
What? Can you say that again?
Yes, if you don't want these children, then don't have them.
Amen.
If you don't want to be teaching them and you don't want to be, doing the things that's necessary, then take you a pill so you ain't going to have none.
Right, because it exists. I mean, birth control's been around for a long time.
For a long time. And if you don't take them pills, you can do something else.
Right.
But, say no to the,
Just say no. Yeah, like, just say no. That's all. Just say no. Yeah.
It messes up my hair.
Yeah, I don't feel good. I got a headache. But what I love about that, though, is how you take it, I mean, from this little bitty country town to where you are now. Like, again,
it was just what I was just where I was supposed to be. Yeah. And I do speak to college groups and things like that. And I want to stress to young people, don't think about where you started.
Right.
Think about where God's going to take you.
Amen.
And be open. Don't be closed-minded. Don't say, oh, I don't want to do this. It's too hard. Get your butt up and, don't be thinking you're going to start off as the chairman of the board the second day you get there.
Right.
Do your work.
Do your work. Yeah.
And I study every day. I take classes. I never want to stop learning. I want to be 100 years old or as long as I can walk.
Right.
I want to die. I tell every director, I want to die in front of a camera. And you better get it on the first take because there ain't going to be a second one. And I'm going to look lovely going down, Yeah,
you're like, oh.
Woo, I'm dead.
You are so amazing. This is exactly what my platform is. My platform is about fit, right? And when I say fit, I'm not talking about just physically fit, but I'm talking about being focused. Yes, ma'am. Intentional and transforming. And you are every bit of those things.
Well, and I read all about you and you're fabulous. And I applaud you for, learning the dietary ways of living. And you lost all that weight and you've kept it up and you've got a wonderful attitude and you're gorgeous. You have a glow about you because you love life.
Yes.
And, you're blessed.
Yes, I am blessed beyond measures. Blessed.
Beyond measure. Mm-hmm. And when you think you're responsible for what comes to you is the day that you go down. And I've watched it over and over and over again. I
just got goosebumps. That's so true.
It's so true. I had an aunt that lived in Owensboro, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And there's a very famous actor. His grandmother lived 2 houses down from her. And his first name is Johnny, and he is broke now. And his last name is Depp. He spent $600 million buying islands and yachts.
He's a pirate.
And having 500 people with him all the time. You see these celebrities that's got these posses that go with them. And they pay all these people to be their friends. And I'm like,
entourage, right?
I'm like, baby, I don't need no friends.
Boom.
Boom. I got my family. I got lots of friends that I don't have to pay. And I'm cheap. Because I know this can end tomorrow.
Amen. Yeah. And I think important to know.
Yeah. And, a sickness can come and you can spend millions.
A pandemic can come. Yes. And I think this pandemic is like pulling back the panties. You know, how people in the old days would have that big old skirt. Yeah.
Yes. Pantaloons, baby.
There you go. The pantaloons, they're pulling them up and showing that you don't have any undies on. Because, it's showing that Americans are not saving like they were supposed to be saving. You said it best. They're dropping around in those $5,000 cars. They're paying all this money for the cars.
And they're broke.
And then a pandemic hit and you got to be out of work for longer than a month.
It's insanity. And, I was just trained to eating cornbread and pinto beans.
Yeah, we're thrifty, very thrifty. Yeah.
And, I have learned over the years that you cannot fill a hole in your heart with material possessions.
Right.
If that's what you're doing any of this for, is for wealth and fame, honey, it won't last.
It's gonna, down.
You're going down the drain.
Take
care of yourself.
There you go.
Mentally, physically. I told you I'm going to be 66. I still do yoga.
Yes.
Even with my broken foot, I was.
So how do you start your day? Do you start it with yoga?
I started with yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get up, I meditate. I read some scriptures that, fill my heart with gratitude.
Right.
And every day I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for.
I love that. That.
You have to, but I've got to thank God for all He's done for me. And that's the only way I can, is just be grateful. And my aunt, she writes Christian poetry, and is still in her 90s and writing it, and has had 2 books of poetry published.
Wow.
Yeah. And, she's such an inspiration. She taught Sunday school for 25 years, and I come from that stock. That's just, we're just grateful to be alive.
Amen.
And having the opportunities that some people don't have. And you turn those opportunities into ways to help other people.
And then that's because you live intentional.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love that, because so many people, they stay prayed up. They pray all the time, but they never move into action.
You gotta do it.
And prayer without works
is dead. That's what it says in James. That's Aunt Joy's favorite passage.
I'm loving me some Aunt Joy, because I believe that all the time, because it is dead. And I love how you take that.
Yeah. Faith without action is dead.
It is. It really is.
You got to get your butt up and go do something.
Right. And when we're meant to move. And I love how you write your 10 things. I tell my clients that too. I have my clients keep a little journal, and I have them write. And, sometimes they can't even do 10 things. So I say, start off with 3 things, then 5 things.
I could write 100. Thank you for that hair color that came from Amazon.
Thank you. Let me tell you, miracles happens every day. Yeah. Most people are just not aware to see them.
They don't want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
They want to say, well, I deserved it. blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people I don't want to be around. I want to be around people who know that if it were not for the grace of God, it would be me. Amen. Living under that bridge.
Right. But I think it's because we both come from very small towns, towns, and that we actually know it. Like we seen it. Like we was not rich at all. Like, I mean, I think I come from a very large family. People always would bring us things because they felt, oh, it's so sad, poor family.
Honey, I didn't know what money was. Nobody ever talked about money.
But they taught us way more than money, because look at us. We happy. We got a smile. I have a smile on my face if I had money in the bank. Yes. Or money.
I
don't care. Me either. I'm happy. Yes.
I sent on, my husband, because of where he came from, he thought all women should have jewelry. And I travel so much. Right. I ain't going to get killed for no diamond ring. Are you crazy?
Right. Well, you know what? That's the truth. However, I do like some nice jewelry. It's so
I wear my wedding band.
Yeah.
And these little pearl earrings.
Beautiful.
And
I just think it's important.
Yeah, but as far as, I can do so much with the amount of money that a big diamond would cost. Right. I could send a child to college that couldn't afford to go.
You are telling the truth. Let me learn from you.
So why do I need, my heart doesn't have a hole in it. I know exactly who I am, where I came from. Right. I know that I am made in the image of my God. I am a child of God, and He's going to take care of me no matter what happens.
No matter what.
I don't need all of that stuff to make me feel important, because God, I'm His child, so I'm already important.
Already important. Right. I always say, when you are a daughter of a king,
hello.
What else? I mean, what else do I need? I'm good. I'm good. My gosh.
I'm sitting here barefoot right now because, I grew up in Alabama. I never wear shoes unless I'm going somewhere.
Me too. I got them flip-flops. I'm fancy.
I'm with, girl, you too fancy for me. But I tell you, I love you.
I just love you. I am now your biggest fan, your biggest supporter. I mean, I'm going to have to just be reaching out to you hey, how you doing? Give me some of that wisdom, because you are amazing. You are simply amazing.
Well, I can just tell you, it's just because of where and who raised us. Both of us.
Yes.
And I thank God every day that I was not raised without someone that loved me, that cared enough to guide me.
Right.
And was there to keep me from doing things that I shouldn't do. And I knew they would kill me if I did.
Oh my gosh. Can I tell you this funniest story? When you say kill me if you did, okay, so
I brought you in this world and
I'll take you out. I still use that with my kids. It's so funny. When I was in San Diego when I first moved to California, and I don't know. I'm from a little bitty town, so this is all new to me. I'm scared. I was scared to cross the streets. It was just crazy because the traffic was going so fast. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get hit.
I remember the first time I came to LA. I was like, what?
Oh, it's a whole new world, right? So somehow somebody found my thing. I was doing modeling, and then they offered me to be in what's the nudie one? Playboy, Playgirl. I don't know. Playboy. Okay. So they sent me an offer, and I was like, oh,
I did, it would have killed me.
My daddy's going to kill me. So I said no. So they thought that I was trying to play hardball, so they offered me more money.
Oh, no.
And I said, are you crazy? You trying to get me killed? No, don't even think about it. No. And I think that is so funny. The things they put the fear into us for us not to do, like, I don't even want to talk about it.
Honey, the first time I went to Studio 54, I was just naive. Oh my God. I walked in and I was walking around and I saw people doing stuff that I didn't even know you could do. And I'm like, and then I saw somebody doing this white stuff. And the only stuff I'd ever seen that looked like that was like BC powders. And I'm like, why is he sucking them BC powders up his nose?
He got a bad headache.
And they were like, you country hick.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm like, but I knew, don't get wrapped up in that stuff.
Hey, man, I'll take being a country hick all day. I'm a country hick. I'm corny. I am so different. But that's also, I think, where we both share that healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. Because I learned it. We grew our own food.
Yes.
Yeah, we might have put some bacon grease in it.
But we grew it. It came from the earth.
It came from the earth. And now, with keto and everything, they say that's good.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I have MS. Mm-hmm. And, my neurologist tells me that, a lot of people go back and forth with the keto thing. But with MS, because it's a neurological and an immune disorder, they say that is the best diet for you. Because, that diet was really started for children with epilepsy.
Right.
And because of all those healthy oils like avocados.
Well, there you go. Now that's the difference, because a lot of people I can make anybody a keto diet. However, they get pretty upset when they realize it's not all bacon, grease, fat backs and all that. Because they're thinking of a dirty keto diet. And
they're thinking of that old diet. What was it that
it's keto, but it's a lot of times they've taken the keto and loosened it up. Of course, they don't want to do it the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah,
the true keto diet is not bad,
and it's very little meat.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm on a keto diet, so I can eat 8 pieces of bacon."
Oh no! Yeah. You can't even eat bacon.
Nah, I know. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can eat all the meat I want.
No.
Like, no, what are you doing? I actually wrote an article about that.
It's vegetables. It's very little pieces of meat. And it's lean meat, grass-fed.
Yes.
And it's olive oil. And it's,
avocados.
Like
yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's good. Yeah.
I just scoop them things out and eat them, baby.
Oh, man. I love me some avocados. I eat that.
I love it. Love it.
I like to call them as God's mayonnaise.
Oh, and I use it as mayonnaise. I will take a can of tuna and make tuna salad with an avocado. But of course, it's got to be right. You can't have them hard.
No, yeah, you can't. We're going to have people out there trying to make it with that hard avocado. You got to let it.
It can't be like your stomach. I saw your 6-pack, girl.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep it together in this quarantine life,
But I don't think it's any harder. I mean, people want to blame it, and they're bored.
Because just say it.
And instead of getting up, writing a journal, or sitting and meditating or doing yoga.
Yeah.
Walk around the block with your mask on,
Yeah, I agree, because I think at first I was having that, I'm bored thing, because I work from home anyway. So
I do too.
This is
I'm never
normal
bored.
for me. Yeah, I am. Let me tell you, when my kids used to say when they was little, I'm bored. I'm like, give me a minute.
I'll find you something.
Would yes, ma'am. I would do a bucket of water and put some soap in and tell them to wash them walls, wash them windows. They never came to me when I'm bored. They was like,
I'm good.
Like, y'all bored? Nope.
And as I tell some people, I can do nothing better than anybody I know. Because I can, when it appears that I'm doing nothing, but my mind is always working. I'm thinking about the next project. What can I do? Who can I call? And if you know anything about the film business, it's, you're always having to find investors.
Right.
It's like, please, Jesus, would you give me $200,000?
I can dance. Look at me. I can sing. Look at me.
And I was like, come on, just $200,000. You're worth $500 million.
Right. Well, speaking of that, what is your next project? What are you working on?
Well, honey, I want to tell you about one that it's finished, and it's being shopped with distribution companies right now. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's called California Love. And it is a true story. And Robert Richard plays the male lead. Okay. He plays Jay Hunter. Right. Krista B. Allen plays the female lead. And the real character's name is Joanne Beck. And this is a true story, and it is a love story. And we always say it is Jay Hunter lived in South Central, and he was a member of the Crips. And we say it's the South Central's Titanic.
Wow.
And Joanne came from, I would say, if not wealthy, upper middle class Jewish family from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But Joanne always had this heart that if she saw anybody that needed anything, she was going to give it to them. I mean, till this day, when we would be in LA and she would see homeless people living down the street from us, she would take her meals that she had left over and go give it to them. I mean, that's just who she is.
I love it.
And she is an all-American swimmer at UNLV, but she went to work. You remember the dating game?
Yes.
And she was an assistant on the dating game. And she had that same feeling that a lot of people have where, she lived that Hollywood life for a while where she went to Malibu every weekend and she was on yachts and it didn't fulfill her. And, people couldn't understand why she didn't want to go to these premieres and these parties and all this kind of stuff. But that gets old real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
We know.
And so she saw this article in the newspaper about Leon Watson had a helpline in South Central to help like women that needed bus fare to go see their husbands that may be in prison. Anything that the community needed, he tried to take care of. And Joanne went to see him now here's this little cute white girl from Milwaukee goes into this place and she tries to convince him, you know, that she can help him. And he's like,
thanks, but no thanks. Yeah.
and on the way out, the girl that worked there goes, do you know any celebrities? Well, because she went to UNLV, she knew all the sports people lived together in the same dorm. She knew all the professional basketball players.
Love it.
So she was able to come in and she worked the weekends at this, you know, help center. I think it's called the helpline. And I may get it wrong and she'll kill me.
Okay.
But she gave her time to help the community. And that's where she met Jay. He came in because he had gotten out of prison and, you know, the Bloods and the Crips had a thing going. This is about the time when Rodney King got beat up. And it was just a mess. But they met, and I'm telling you, girl, it was just love.
Oh, my goodness.
And it drew me in so much that, you know, I not only was in it, I became a producer. I put my own money in it because I believed in it so much.
Yeah.
And it's such a moving story that two people that should have never met would find each other and they saved each other.
Wow.
You know, because she needed that area in her life that she could help others because that was where her heart was.
Right.
It was not that Hollywood thing. And when I met her, she had been trying to make this movie for 28 years.
28 years. That's called dedication right there.
And honey, she did it. And we had some of the best people. You know, Drea Michelle was in it.
Wow.
You know, and there's nobody better than Robert Richard. I just love him. He's like my other baby. And Krista B. Allen, she is fabulous. And, you know, she was on Revenge, the television show.
I love Revenge.
And Leon was played by Alan Payne. And
I love me some Alan Payne.
And honey, I got to act with Mr. Alan Payne.
Okay.
And you know, everybody that was in it, they're just wonderful. And Preston Whitmore, I don't know, he was the director, and he directed This Christmas.
Yes. I know
fabulous.
This Christmas. Yes.
And I'm telling you, it was just a blessing to be a part of it. And I think it's just going to be a big hit.
I am so excited.
It's so inspirational, you know, that you can take somebody, but the best part about it, they formed their own coalition, and they got the Bloods and the Crips to come together and quit killing each other.
Wow.
I mean, and they were on, at the time, they were on every television show in the United States talking about it.
I must have seen about it because I was out there. I was in, but I've always been in California, but I was in San Diego around that. I was there when the Rodney King.
I remember it like it was yesterday. And honey, I grew up in the Deep South during that bad
time. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, remember the name of it, California Love.
California Love.
There is a website that I would like for you to put down. And it's jlbstrong.com. And it will tell Joanne Lee Beck's story. And she's like a sister to me now. And she had a daughter by Jay, and her name is Danielle, and she's like my baby now. And, the whole thing, God just put me there, and I feel so blessed, just by being a part of it. And I just know that it's going to be the biggest hit. And because there's nothing out there, people are bidding for it because, every production is shut down. Nobody has any. I mean, I've watched everything there is to watch on.
And we need that inspiration right now.
Yes, we do.
We need it right now. So,
but I tell you, Preston, it was a small budget film, but honest to God, it looks like it cost $20 million. That's how well it's shot.
You definitely have to come back on and tell us about it when it goes big, when you find it.
Well, and, you have all the stars that are in it, and I would love for you to be able to talk to Joanne sometime and let you talk to her. And she is writing a book, and she already has, a literary agent and everything. I mean, it's going to be big.
I am so excited. I would love to talk to her, but you know what?
I love you, girl.
Yes, I was just about to say it. You see it in my eyes. I'm like, you're my favorite. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much. How can we stay connected with you?
You can always stay connected with me on Instagram. It's Amanda Hen 2000.
Okay.
And Facebook, just Amanda Hen. Okay, I'm just a plain old girl. And I have an official page, and I have one that, like you do, that we have 5,000 friends, but we don't know but 100 of them.
Yes, it does. We do. It's like,
I don't know who this is. And then, as women, we get these crazy men sometimes that will send you pictures of stuff you don't want to see.
And I don't even want to see it. No, thank you. Yeah,
I don't even want to see people I know real well.
Like my husband. Save all that.
I was thinking that. I just didn't want to say it.
I'm gonna say it because my husband know me. He's like, Well, I love you to pieces.
I love you to pieces
thank
too.
You.
And I want to thank you for that. It's just been a blessing talking to you. And you are now my sister.
There we go. That's right. We are sisters from different vistas.
And let me tell you, when you moved to Alabama, I still have family there. Now, just tell me the general area so everybody ain't going to know. Is it
gonna be
south,
a long time ago.
Middle, or north?
I don't know it well enough. I think it's like Fairhope.
Yeah, I know where Fairhope is. I'm from near Gadsden, Alabama.
Okay, I don't know what is it.
It's a little bit of...
Yeah, I've only been there.
I mean, the town had 2,500 people.
Ooh, that's big time compared to my place where I grew up.
Well, honey, but we lived out in the country.
Oh.
That was town.
I know exactly what you mean. You have blessed us today with your knowledge, your spirit, and everything about you.
I love you, sister.
Love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much. You guys, make sure you follow this amazing woman and stay.
And follow me on, you can watch all them crazy videos on YouTube.
YouTube, yes.
And it's just Amanda Hen, and you might not like some of them.
I'm going on today.
And you can watch me singing, and you can hear me sing the whole song of His Eye is on the Sparrow.
You guys,
thank you for joining us today for another episode of Miss Fit One Lifestyles. I mean, this was amazing. Guys, go check out my website, misfitone.com, and see who's coming up, see the people that you missed, and most of all, I'll see you again next week. Stay fit.